Hello and welcome to PADNET Presents, a show featuring the creative individuals that come through the doors of our Community Media Center in Long Beach. My name is Lanessa and I had the opportunity to co-produce this episode along with my fellow interns, Christina and Julio. The segment that you're about to watch is about uncovering haunted places and paranormal activity that has happened in the community. We had so much fun learning and working together to create this episode of PADNET Presents. We hope you like it and enjoy the show.
Pretty sure I was a junior or senior in college a couple years back, and tell the story often enough so it stays fresh in my mind. We had gone to the Forum on the Queen Mary, and nice dinner, nice everything, and people were hanging out, and someone had mentioned, hey, do you know the Queen Mary is haunted? I go, no, it's not. Come on. Can't believe that stuff all the time. So we were able to sneak into me, buddy of mine, and two girls into a non-staff or a non-public area. And one of the girls kind of knew where to go, so we kind of followed her. And as we walked through the planes, we passed the planes, part of it inside the ship, and we started going in deeper in the boat toward the front, I think the bow. And all of a sudden we got to the pool area. Just crazy, there's an indoor pool inside the Queen Mary. And then someone mentioned there was a haunting in one of the stalls where you would change. A little boy would pop up. Go there and we walk around, nothing going on, okay, whatever. Then we start walking further in, and we found the boilers, the steamers. And someone had mentioned that people that are, I guess, ghost sensitive do not want to walk by there because it's way too, has too much energy, I guess. So we finally get through there, and nothing happens again. And we walked down this long, lit hallway that had all these rooms on both sides, but they were completely black. There was no lights in there at all, so it kind of just looked like a dark room on each side. And as we get to the very front, it's about maybe, say, 20 yards or so, maybe a little bit shorter than that, maybe 15 yards. Get to the very front, we look out the bow, and we can see a little peephole. We look through and go, oh, that's nice, everything else too. And as we start turning around to leave, all of a sudden we hear someone behind us running with chains. And not small chains, like big, thick chains you would use to tow a car or something like that, and then dragging the chains as they run. So I take off. I know these people don't like them very much, and I bolt out of there. And all I could hear is these chains following me at my same speed I'm going the whole time, the whole same stride, everything about those 20 yards. So it was pretty freaky. Once you got to the boilers, back to the boilers, end of the hall, nothing was there. We all turned around and like, what the heck was that? So that's our story. We're sticking with it for 1, 2, but we heard those chains behind us and just kept running until we turned around and no one was there.
Hi, I'm Sunshine. I actually live in Burbank, but I come to Long Beach a lot.
Hi, I'm Patricia, and I'm an avid visitor to Long Beach, but my main spots is I love the Queen Mary.
My name is Jesus. I live mainly in Torrance, but I work in Long Beach.
I'm Rudy Cardozo-Peraza, lifelong Long Beach resident.
I'm Aaliyah Taylor. I live in Wilmington, but I come to Long Beach all the time because it's the next city over.
I think Queen Mary is definitely like the most popular attraction in Long Beach, or at least the one that people always talk about.
Is, right.
They always talk about how haunted it is too, don't they?
Yeah, I always hear a lot of stories about that.
Has anyone visited it?
Oh yes, I come to the wedding expos all the time here at the Queen Mary in Long Beach, and my experience with them and I love the cake tastings, and I was just at the table. I believe it's a famous bakery called Portos. Can I mention that?
Portos, yeah.
Portos, and I was just biting and biting and biting. And I knew I bit 3, and then all of a sudden, as I was biting my favorite, like cheesecake with filling icing, it was a 4th one that was bit. So that was my little creepy experience with.
So rewind it back. The event was On the boat?
Yeah, it was a wedding expo.
Oh.
And they had different vendors, you know, the cakes, you know, everything you do with weddings, balloons, the decorating, the limos, the flowers. But I love the cake. Yeah, and I was just biting like these little particles right here. So I guess I knew I bit 3.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just biting. Then all of a sudden, it was another one that was smashed in half, like somebody bit it. I said, oh my, was I biting too quick? You know, and didn't know I bit the 4th one. So I'm like, I said, ooh, let me move on. Next vendor.
I'm from North Carolina, and I had heard about the Queen Mary long before I ever came here. Like, I used to watch Unsolved Mysteries a lot, and like that's one of the biggest episodes is the Queen Mary, and like so the Queen Mary's so famous, like just not just Long Beach, like everywhere. You know, I guess they used it for World War II. It's been everywhere before it was docked, and
it was a gift.
Famous everywhere.
Yeah, a gift from I believe England. It was one of the sisters, Queen Elizabeth, and then she has the Queen Mary, her sister, and there was a gift. So now it was docked here in Long Beach as a gift to America, you know.
Oh, I didn't know.
And that they made it into a tourist attraction for hotels and vendors and ballrooms and galas and things like that. So, but I'm also an avid fan of, you know, the royal family.
Oh.
You know, I just love the things that they do, and everything is gold. You know, they love being princey and stuff like that. So, but I hear it's sinking.
Yeah, I had heard they were planning on sinking it, but because it was taking on water. But I thought they like permanently landed or beached it.
Yes.
To like make it permanent, because I thought it was supposed to disappear like a year ago, but it's still an attraction. It's turned into an attraction. My sister, I think, spent a few nights or a night in there in one of their suites. She wanted to have that paranormal.
Oh, that's so cool.
You know what?
I did.
I remember her coming back disappointed.
Oh,
unfortunately, yeah.
Maybe she should like brought a Ouija board with her, or like brought a proton pack.
Yeah, that must have been. Yeah, that's what she messed up on.
Something, you know.
Yeah, but you know what? It's the art of believing, and just like magic, if you want it to appear, it'll appear. So if you want to see ghosts, I believe they'll come.
I don't know. I believe them, but I still haven't had my ghostly experience. Not too many. No.
Okay.
I believe so. But I'll wait. I'm waiting.
It'll come.
Give it time. Well, personally, I would say, I wasn't sure this count or not, but one time at the time, he was my boyfriend, but now my ex, were like at my sister's like house, and she wasn't there because she was doing some stuff back at somewhere else, I forget where. But it was just me and him there. We could have sworn like what happened was all of a sudden we didn't know why, but we felt like the room get a lot colder, and like it was like freezing cold. 'Cause you know, like they say sometimes like if a ghost or something is like trying to interact with you, like you'll feel the presence, like it'll get colder or like hotter or something like that.
Or something.
Yeah. And like me and him both saw like a little shadowy figure, because like it was creepy. It was like this dark like black figure in the kitchen that was like there, because like we had the living room, like the TV was on, but like the kitchen was like dark. And me and him both looked over and like saw something, but we couldn't make out what it was.
Oh my God.
It was trippy, and we like packed up our stuff and like left, but we couldn't make sense of it. Someone did die in that place, and my sister was telling me about it. It was like her roommate died there, so I don't know if like it was like his spirit or whatever. But
did you get bad vibes or neutral vibes? Or?
It felt bad for us, because like I said, it felt cold and creepy, and we just felt like we needed to leave.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to get up from out of there.
But yeah, that's my little story.
East State Penitentiary. Maybe Alcatraz.
Oh,
that's not LA or Long Beach, but it is California, right?
Yeah. I really want to go there. So
I did
bad.
go to Alcatraz.
Oh
I did that. I went to Alcatraz.
You just can imagine just hearing the people, how they do with the inmates putting the cups along the bars, like, hey, Warden, you know.
You know what's funny? When I went there, like, they talk about it being haunted and stuff, and like the people that work there, they take the doors and they open and shut them. like as you're walking around. I'm like, are you doing that to scare me? Like you can turn around and clearly see it's an employee opening the door and shutting it.
Trying to give you an experience.
Trying to give you a little scare tactic. I was like, dude, no, come on. I can clearly see you there.
They did want to tell you, make this your last visit here. You know, they want to see you returning. That's what we want to do. Give you that experience. But, ooh, yeah, Alcatraz. It seems like a good place.
Yeah, we should go there next time.
I'm at a weird place myself because like I'm not crazy about spooky stuff, but I love spooky stuff. You know, like I don't like watching horror movies, but I'll sit there and watch like a horror movie compilation of like all the kills and stuff because like I like seeing the spectacle. But I do not want to sit there in a theater with other people. I think it's mainly because I'm around other people. Because the people I go watch a horror movie with know that I'm bad with them. So like they'll sit there as I'm staring and like trying to hide under my popcorn, and then they'll grab me out of nowhere and just start jumping, throw all my popcorn in the air. So like I have a weird relationship with it. As far as believing in ghosts, probably around a 6 or a 7 for me out of 10.
Like I said earlier, my faith, my religious faith is rooted and bonded, you know, like that. But I love being scared. I really do. I get a kick out of it. It cracks me up inside. It withers my feathers. But my level, I can say really in believing in it, it's like a 1. Because like I said, my faith is strong. And I know, I don't want to, bring anything, religious up into it, but it's strong enough to know that that's my mind telling me that. And it's a mental thing. If I, if I want to believe, if I want to be scared, I'm going to be scared. And it cracks me up because it did like junk me up. But as far as really believing in ghosts, no. But my mother always taught me, she said when she was a little girl and she sat down in her bed and she used to see her mother and her grandmother, they all come and talk to her. But she said, if you believe that they will come, they will. And because they'll feel you. If not, they'll leave you alone because they know your vibes and know what level to take you at. So that's where I'm at with it. But I don't want to know that the spoon is going to jump over like that because, or somebody it's bloody. Right. I'm already there with that. So it's nothing that you can say. It scare me. But just me being human, will say, oh, you got me.
So it's more of a spiritual belief than a paranormal belief.
Yeah, okay. with me.
Well, I kind of feel that too because, like, don't get me wrong, I'm a religious girl as well. You probably can't tell because of the outfit, but I grew up believing in what I believe in as well. And I still, if I had to like, give you a guess of like where I'm at in the whole spirituality thing, whatever, it would still kind of range. I want to say kind of like 1 to 10, 10 being high, 1 being the lowest. It'd be like maybe a 6 or 7, because like how the Bible says like we wrestle not against flesh and blood type of thing, and like the more and more I actually like do try to get more connected and get to know like God for myself, I realize that's kind of more true every day, where it's not more so about like me versus like me versus you, or me versus you, or you, or whatever. It's more so about like what's going on, like even more so than that, than on the surface level, because you never know like what someone has got going on in their life, or what like demon is on them, so to speak, because we all have angels or demons that's helping us or hurting us in one way or another. And I feel like more so it's just about meeting the right people who God places on your path to kind of help you out and remember which way you're supposed to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you, Rudy?
I'm probably 6 or 7 too, but I definitely believe it's there, but I'm very highly critical of other people's stories. So sorry, maybe that's mean, maybe that's overly negative or yeah, I'm like, okay, you tell me the story, I'm interested in it, but like, okay, I'm very fascinated with Hotel Cecil. I feel like I used to stalk that building, and like, so when they did the documentary about the girl Eliza Lamb that killed herself, and they were trying to make all these spiritual connections and like spooky connections, and it's because Hotel Cecil is cursed. And when I see the video, I'm like, this poor girl, she's got some mental illness. It's not no spirits. She's got some mental illness.
Going,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
something's going on.
And so they kept trying to make, and people today, they still keep trying to make some spooky connection, and I'm like, it's a girl with mental illness, you know. So
Some people will exploit that to get some money. I agree.
Yeah.
Not all of them are like literally linked to, you know, ghosts or paranormal activity, but that does happen for fame and fortune reasons. So I hear you.
For me, kind of like what Sunshine was saying, I'm a little, you know, in between. I'm probably like at a 5. Just because, you know, people might make up some things about other folks. They might have biases, you know, these sort of things. But then there's also some things you just can't explain. Like, and you experience those things too, and it's like, what's going on? So.
Well, what you had brought up earlier, I think, kind of explains my view of it. Like, yes, it's in your head. Your head is the one creating these illusions, but sometimes there's something that's really hard to explain. Like, I don't think I've had those kinds of situations. Like, I've been in a dark room and then I feel something behind me. And I don't know if that's in my head or if there's actually something behind me. I've woken up in the middle of the night with something at the edge of my bed. But I know, like, I want to believe that that is just a night terror that I'm having. But like, my mom will have similar stories to what you had mentioned, where like her dad passed away like at a very young age when she was 12, and she would walk in the middle of the night towards her mother's room, sobbing for the loss, and she would see her father next to her, trying to console her, maybe patting her on the back. So like, the paranormal stories don't have to be that, like something's gonna come out and attack you. It could just be something simple as spirit visiting. And like, I don't know if I believe her story, but I know she believes that story. So like, I will believe in her thought process of it. Yeah.
But you know what really would make you believe, if never that you want to, is the smell. Smell. Because once if like a grandmother had an old dress or old thing she used to cook, or a perfume she used to wear, you just smell it, and it'll be a light smell. And that's one thing we don't talk about, because we smelled Uncle Johnny, you know, or we smelled my grandmother. But we don't say that. We'll just, like you said, we'll talk about what we've seen, or, you know, what footsteps or whatever. Yeah. But when we walk in a room, or we alone, and we get to thinking about a loved one or sometime, and we'll smell them, because everybody has their own scent.
Right.
So, and then we'll never say, "Oh my God, my grandmother's in here." We'll never say that, but we'll always keep that to ourselves. But that's one unusual thing that we will never mention that is real. That smell, their smell.
okay, so it made me remind this one. You know how they say the Hollywood sign is like, there's some famous actress that like jumped off the H or something. So she wore some gardenia perfume or something. So supposedly they say if you're like around the H, you'll smell the gardenia perfume. But there might just be gardenias planted there. Who knows? I don't know. You know,
Right.
Know.
But then it goes back to mental.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
want to smell gardenia. See what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They led us to believe.
You're hunting for that actual
Yeah. So,
ghost.
but sometimes we can never question the impossible or the miracles. They do happen.
Yeah.
After hearing y'all stories, I mean, I could definitely see how, like, you know, like the smell, or maybe like, you know, it is kind of more of a mental thing or stuff like that, or is it just like something we've heard other people say or things of that nature? But I don't know. I still feel like maybe even though we are going through our day-to-day lives, like maybe there is more to it. Like maybe there are angels guiding people. That's just how I believe about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't always, like you said, it doesn't always have to be like, you know, ooh, someone's about to jump out and get you, or there's a ghost out there. It could be just, you know, maybe a voice saying, hey, go left instead of right.
Right.
Yeah. And you can't explain it, but then like later you went left, like as you were instructed by that little voice. And it was like, oh, you know, dodged 2 hours worth of traffic. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And and what I do believe, everything is done by design.
Yeah.
There's no mistakes.
Yeah.
Everything's supposed to happen. And we are supposed to meet. That's my belief. You know, we never know it, we're never said, and we'll probably never mention it, but we're supposed to be here. we're supposed to have this type of accrual. We're supposed to have these type of discussions. And the universe has allowed it to happen, that the people that, to come together, and we're all different, but yet we had the same experience.
You know, Tara, that's called divine timing.
Yes,
that
I believe in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything happening for a reason.
For a reason. It has its purpose.
Yeah. And even though we may not know exactly what it is at the time, later when we look back, we'll understand it. Like later, when we come back to it, like way, way later.
Absolutely.
Being conscious, it's powerful. Like I feel like if we wanted to, I don't know, raise awareness of something, like if we come together, like I don't know, if we want to manifest something, like we could, you know, if we want good things to come out of, you know, life, if we all really believe in it, like we could, you know. Obviously we're on the topic of like spooky stuff and scary stuff, like there's people out there who are really embracing like witchcraft and those, you know, type of like voodoo. Like if you believe in that stuff, like you'll see that there's proof out there, like people are, you know, they're bad, like if they want to hurt you, they'll hurt you. But then obviously we want, you know, where am I going with this?
Prosperity, peace, and love.
That's honestly what I'm going for. Like we want that.
But
yeah, there's just things that'll happen where like we'll need to find some kind of explanation to the thing that we just do not understand happening in front of us. And maybe it's after the fact where you've thought about it that the ghosts start appearing, like that happened because the ghosts moved it, or it could have just been some coincidence in the universe, who knows. Yeah.
So, you know, we are all open to different things, and we all open to say that this is this is that. But that's what makes the world go round. You know, it takes that opinion, it takes that experience, it takes that person to experience that to make a good, you know, conversation and awareness that these things does, you know, exist. And that's what makes us, you know, all on one accord and human, you know, that we all are alike. You know, we may look different, but we all are alike. Because when we cut each other wrists, we all gonna bleed red, not green, not yellow. It's gonna be yet red, because that, for me, brings us all together as one. For me, you know. So I was always was taught, be all you can be. You know, have confidence and stand for something, and you'll fall for anything. You know, but remember, you are just like the other person, because you have eyes, a nose, a mouth, and just like everybody else, and you're just one person. It's just us people mentally always divides us, and you do that by choice. So I'm a confident woman. I don't let no one or other thing infuriates me or infuriates me, because like I said, when I look at you, we all have eyes.
Yeah, we all do feel the same way.
Yes, and we're all as one. So these eyes, we all have to see. These ears, you have them too. You have them too. So we all have the ears. So that makes, we're just one person. It's us people sometimes divides us. And that's all, but that's why we have choices and opinions and different beliefs, but it's okay. That's why we bring them to the table and we share, and it all comes together, you know. So that's just, you know, my belief of it.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to take this time to introduce myself. My name is Reggie Jackson. Same name, different game. He plays ball, I do it all. And I'm from Philadelphia. That's my hometown, born and raised. What I want to share with you today is something I experienced in my life pertaining to the supernatural realm, just to let you know that it's very real. And I want to share this happened in Long Beach just about, I'll say 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks past. I was riding my bicycle, going to my storage, ready storage, and as I was going, because I wanted to get there before they closed a certain time. But I couldn't see the street. I was going straight this way, but I couldn't see the street that was cross street because this big truck was blocking my view. But as I was going, riding real fast, I remember a voice hollering, yelled out my name, Reginald. And I turned around, I put on brakes, I stopped to see who it was. No one was there. I looked, I don't know what I heard. And then I saw a car over there, so maybe somebody know me is in that car. So I went over to the car, No one was there, you know. But had I not heard that voice and stopped, I would have been hit by the car that was right by. In Florida, especially in Manatee County, which is part of Palmetto and Bradenton, Florida, everybody knows everyone because it's like a small areas and next to Sarasota, Florida. But at any rate, she came to my house on a rainy day, pouring down rain, and I said, "What are you doing here?" She said, "Reggie," she was crying. She said, when she take a bath, you know, she saw these green blobs come out of her body, which sounded, I thought she was needed psychiatric help. I said, I can't help you with that. But then she saw her husband standing over top of her, and then he would disappear. She looked in the mirror, she sees him behind her, and he wasn't there. So I said, "Look, let me take you home." I met her mother, I met her family. I said, "Let me take you home because it's pouring down rain, and we'll talk about it there." I said, "I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna really take a Bible and we'll pray when we get to your house, and I think God will bless you and help you. And then you can seek other spiritual guidance, you know, the next day." So when I went out to get in my car, I opened the door for her, and then she started screaming because when I went around the side to get in the car, I looked up and I saw this real tall figure. It had pointed ears. It was colors of rainbows, like rainbow colors going through his body. It had long nails, and it was doing like this. It was pulling me toward it like a magnet, and I was drawn, and I was going toward this huge thing. It had a long tail, like, I'm serious. All these red, green colors going through his body. It had a long tail. The eyes were like to a point. I'm going toward this. I couldn't resist. It was like pulling me. And she came out. She said, "No, Reggie, don't go." And it woke me up. So I ran, jumped in the car. I had an old '54 Chevy back then. Started up, drove her straight home. We went home. We told her, "I saw this." I said, "This was no." We went home, and I called her mother in there, and we all prayed. We stayed up all the rest of the night till 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was reading the Bible real loud, and it looked like I saw this white mist just keep going around in the room, and finally, daybreak came, and the Spirit of God, the power of God, because the room just lit up. It's like it got brighter. The power of God, I believe, was there. Just to let you know, whatever your experience is, some people have experienced a loved one coming back or hearing a loved one. And like the lady said, the smell, you can smell certain things. But all these things are very real.
That concludes today's show. Watching these segments back, I'm reminded of the spooky stories that other interns have told me in the studio. If you are interested in participating in future episodes of PADNET Presents, follow us on social media or join our weekly newsletter to receive announcements on upcoming production opportunities. Thanks for watching PADNET Presents, and remember to make your media.